Hi guys, welcome to my new video from the Black Sea coast, Ureki, Georgia. It's my first time here and I'm going to tell you I love it here. Especially I love its unique black sand. Look at this. Have you ever seen it? So in this video, I want to share my experience of visiting a Russian activist camp. We'll explore this coastal town. We'll visit some abandoned Soviet sanatoriums. I will also tell you what I learned about the unique properties of this black sand, which is Ureki famous for. And this video is going to be very interesting. I'm so excited to be here. And yeah, let's start. I came here actually for a camp. It's called Territory of Freedom or Территория Свободы in Russian. For many years it was an activist camp held somewhere near St. Petersburg, but since 2022 it was forced to move to other countries because the organization that held this event is considered undesirable for an agent and stuff in Russia. So this year they decided to locate the camp in Ureki here, and the idea actually, because it's a camp, people are supposed to live in tents, but this time they said that if you don't want to live in a camp, you can actually rent a guest house. That's what I did. So some other participants and I lived in the comfort in the guest house. But you know what? I think I found the perfect balance between the comfort and still enjoying this camping life, sitting by the campfire and so on. Вот такой у меня гест-хаус. Место на троих. Тут душ и вид во двор. Красивый. So I have no regrets about my choice, but what is more, then the weather worsened a lot and there was a windstorm and the tents basically flew away and people had to move to the guest house anyway. So the guys who spent the night in their tent told me that there basically were puddles in their tents. They had to move to the guest house anyway, and there was such a pile of different tents and backpacks. But we still managed to hang out in the camp. Also, there was a projector where we watched presentations and listened to lectures. And now I'll tell you about the event. So yeah, as I said, this camp was for political activists and just active citizens like myself. Also, there was a quiz about Roman Empire, a lecture about different waves of Russian emigration. I am in the 8th wave, by the way. Another lecture was about gender and homosexuality in the Soviet Union. Also very, very interesting. We also participated in a role-playing game called Stolen Sun. So according to the legend, a big black crocodile ate the sun and we had to fight with him and return the sun. The whole game took place at night. It was very dark and scary. And you know what? Indeed, the sun was eaten because the weather worsened, it started raining, and we could not continue playing the game. We only spent 2 hours for learning the rules, and then we had to stop it. And yeah, we will continue playing in Tbilisi, but even the 2 hours that we used for learning the rules was enough for me to immerse myself into the lore of this game. This is the entrance to our camp. Cows, so cute. I like how they used this thick rope as a speed bump. Although it doesn't stop the cows. Hi! Come, Artyoba, I don't have anything for you. I wonder why it has its chain. Bye. Vino, vodka, cha-cha. The funniest thing is that when I arrived at this event, I didn't start it as normal as others would do. I firstly wanted to get some food in the city center, so I decided to make a shortcut because on the maps it showed me a very convenient route. You just had to cross the river, but the shortest way is located on a territory that is surrounded by a fence, and you cannot go there because apparently there is some construction, it is a private property. But what I did, I just climbed down because there was some space between the edge of the fence and the ground. I just climbed down that fence to find a shortcut across the river. Yes, and here it is, the bridge. I saved myself 20 minutes. So I did that and almost successfully crossed the bridge, but then I was stopped by a security guard and his dog. I didn't think that it was a big deal, but he said that I should not be there. He asked like, how did you do that? I said, I climbed under the fence, and he laughed. Then we walked through the territory and he released me through this gate. I was embarrassed because for the event I arrived to, it wasn't such a good beginning. So I decided to go to the center anyway by this road, and by a coincidence a car was passing by, and in that car there were 3 guys, and one of them was the organizer of our event. I knew one of them and he was like, oh, Natasha, where are you going? Join us. It turned out they were going to the city center as well because they needed a store, but it turned out that they didn't only want to visit one store. So we happened to visit other towns across the whole coast because they specifically needed canned food for the fire. So we got acquainted, and after that returned to the camp. It was a very unusual beginning because instead of just arriving at the event, I climbed under the fence, spoke to the security guard, randomly met the guys I knew, visited a couple of other towns, and finally arrived at the camp. And currently I'm going to the center again. I want to eat in a cafe and explore it a little bit more. This store is empty as well. Currently, Ureki is empty because the tourist season hasn't started yet, and it's only Russians and people from other post-Soviet countries who don't know that they should not come here, because locals will come here the next month and these streets will be more lively. It's interesting that here it's spelled in Georgian and Armenian, probably for tourists from Armenia who don't know Georgian. And of course somewhere else you can see Russian letters. Hot corn. As usual, lots of dogs. Hey dogs! Honestly, it's so sad because actually there is a governmental program. They sterilize them and put a chip on their ear. But I saw such dogs only in big cities like Tbilisi and Batumi. But here in Ureki, every dog I see, it's not chipped, which means that they will continue reproduce. Of course, they are cute, feedable and touchable, but also it might be dangerous because even in the capital sometimes they bite people and there is a threat to get the disease. I forgot its name in English, but it's like бешенство, rabies or something. I see one dog with a chip, but that's the only one. Hi! For all the days I spent here, I've been seeing these dangerous cords just descending from the tree, and it seems that the local authorities are not bothered with it, but honestly I am scared every time when I pass this sidewalk. Here it says, Patriots sort the waste. And this claim is questionable for me because, like, what is patriotism? But maybe it works. I don't know. Local football championship. Let's study some local advertisements. Meshuri-puri, Hachapuri, Bulki. Okay, this word, Hachapuri, it is a Georgian famous pie, but this word looks like from Russian, so bulki is literally like buns in Russian. So it's funny how they named it by this word. And also, I want to draw your attention to this interesting graffiti, I would call it. Hi, spider! This one looks like prishka, a type of a donut. And this bread is called shoti, made in a shape of a boat, kind of. Is this the Snow White? Wow, look at this. Look at this mosaic. It's made out of seashells and mosaic pieces and stones. Here it says Ureki and the flag of Georgia, of course. It looks pretty taken care of. And а что? Ага, мадлоба, очень красиво.
Это она художник сама. 50 лет ее. Она будет кино, краски фестиваля, показывать ее.
Ага.
Это женщина.
Madloba. So this man told me that these mosaics are made by a woman who holds this pharmacy. I didn't quite understand him, but he said that she showed her artworks at the Cannes movie festival. I didn't notice it first, but also here it says Garda Kmna Shroma Shvidoba. Also, wow, she also included the coat of arms of Georgian patrol police or something. I mean, it is so intricate and unique. And this is the Colchis Hotel. It's named after Colchis, and I told you about this in my video about Kutaisi. And it's so striking to realize that Kutaisi is one of the oldest continuously populated cities in the world. It used to be a capital of the Colchis. It is a country from that Greek poem about Jason and the Argonauts. According to legend, their ship Argo made a dangerous journey to Colchis to get the Golden Fleece. The king of Colchis, Aeetes, did not want to give it away, but his daughter, Medea, fell in love with Jason and helped him to get the fleece. Today, the statue of Medea stands on Europe Square in Batumi. This story reflects the history of the early connections between Europe and the Caucasus. It's very cool to know that this Greek legend actually took place here on the territory of today's Georgia. And by the way, this is a mosaic devoted to that very legend because this seems to be the ship. This one is the Golden Fleece. And unfortunately, part of the mosaic is destroyed. This is the abandoned sanatorium. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 floors. There's some graffiti on the top. And wow, this is what remained from the Soviet spa resort. Another thing that scares me is this roof. What if it just falls down on me? I mean, this building has stood here for decades, but still there's some shelf, empty shelf, and you cannot find anything interesting here, like some Soviet artifacts, I mean, except of this TV frame. And also don't forget to push like under this video, write your comment and subscribe to appreciate my sacrifice exploring such scary deserted places. Let's go on. I knew about this building. I knew that it's located here in Ureki, but I didn't expect that I would be able to visit it because it's surrounded by fence and it's not quite clear whether it's allowed, but it seems that nobody cares. And look at this, my favorite Soviet mosaics. This one is with fish. Ah, look how cute it is. I don't know what this thing was used for. Maybe it was a pool or a fountain. But imagine how cool it would be if it was restored. I mean, I'm not even talking about this building, but at least the pool. Because such a mosaic, it's a very valuable piece of art. Like, I don't understand why is it neglected like this. And now let's see the Black Sea. Look at this black sand. Камар джоба. Не, спасибо. Honestly, I don't know much about this town. I knew that it's located somewhere north to Batumi and that it is a popular resort. But there's one significant difference because unlike in Batumi, where there are mostly stones or cobbles on the shore, here there is sand. And what is more, it is black sand. Guys, have you ever seen it? Look at this. I don't know if camera can convey this, but in real life it's pitch black, but also with fine sand of other color, like green, yellow, or even kind of transparent. I wanted to look up some information about this coastal town to tell about this to you. And the first thing that comes up is the black sand, which actually consists of the mineral called magnetite, and this sand comes from the volcano, and the local river brought it from the mountains to here, creates such a unique place. And you can find such sands in different places around the world, in Hawaii, in Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. But what Georgia claims is that this sand is healing. I watched a couple of travel documentaries about this town, and one, I think that it was paid for by the local hotel. They interviewed the doctor there. Oh my god, look guys, I found an acorn, I think. Acorn. So they interviewed a doctor who was praising the unique treating features of this sand that basically heals any kind of disease. And I was like, wow, probably I should look it up, but I didn't find any scientific evidence. I tried to find some articles in magazines like Nature, Science and so on, but the only articles about this magic sand I found was from the websites of the Georgian hotels and spa resorts that work here. So, yeah. Kamar joba? Rusi var. Ki kartulit sota. Ki momtons.
YouTuberi kart.
Ki me var YouTuberi. Me vakitep video urek ze Da es kviši, šavi, es kartulat rogor, kviši,
Shawi Kvisha.
šavi kviša. Šen džera tu arm džera es kviša like
Sampurna.
healing, like
Yes,
magical.
Yes.
It's truth?
Yes.
Wow. When Tovrok?
Classmates.
Ah,
We came from Gori.
you're from Gori?
Yes.
Okay. Where Stalin is from, so it's one of the few things I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are traveling from Gori to here?
Yes.
We had Bartoli's canyon in mind. We couldn't go because it was raining and we came here instead of. We should go to Bartoli.
Yeah, I want to go there.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, we have to go.
Okay, bye. Oh my God, what you've just witnessed was my ability to be sociable when it's needed, because like too many people, but they just look like nice, friendly teenagers. And I asked them, do you believe that this sand is like healing? And they said, yes. Well, okay, guys, if some Georgian person will watch this video, don't be too harsh on me in the comments, but I just want to promote the scientific knowledge. So maybe there will be some research on that. Maybe the Ureki sands just have not yet attracted enough interest to them. So if you're a scientist, please comment below what do you think about this. But nevertheless, who cares? Okay, it might not heal cancer, but one of the healing properties of this sand that I can prove myself is that when it is heated up by the sun and you put your feet into it or play with it with your hands, it hits your feet and it feels so good. And I think it works as a placebo effect. That's why people who spend time in the black magnetic sand resorts felt that they are relieved and healed, because it's indeed, I mean, guys, have you seen it? Do I have to explain how beautiful and relaxing this place is? After the beach, I look like a bum. But I love it, honestly. I have little time left for my bus. That's why I'm in a hurry, actually. I'm already back in Tbilisi, and guys, I don't know about this magnetic sand, but this whole journey definitely was therapeutical for me. I haven't seen so much nature in a while, and even when I returned here, this room seemed so small to me. I was like, am I in the guest house again? After visiting Ureki, I understood how small we humans are at the backdrop of the eternal nature, because everything I saw there reminds me of the past. The kingdom of Colchis is no longer there. Centuries later, another country, or rather empire, the Soviet Union, created a mosaic to honor Colchis. After that, this country vanished as well. The mosaic crumbled, the sanatorium emptied out, Stalin is no longer here, and now I meet kids who come from his hometown. But our generation will disappear one day as well, and only this black sand will still be there, quietly warming up in the sun. Thoughts like this remind me of how fragile our existence really is, and honestly it even makes me a little bit depressed, so let's return to something more related to daily life, something that I can control, which is making this video. If you enjoyed watching it, push the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave your comments. Would you like to visit Ureki? And tell me, what do you think about the properties of this black magnetic sand? Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Goodbye. Пока-пока.